Good evening, everyone. I am creating this video as a general knowledge if you want to start with your Portugal Job Seeker Visa application. If you could remember, I created my first video about 2 months ago. That is the requirements of Portugal Job Seeker Visa. But if you are applying from the Philippines and if you are a Filipino citizen. Now, I didn't know that I would actually receive a lot of inquiries from other nationalities, so I am going to create this one for you. So wherever you are, whatever nationality you are, this must be the first step that you must do if you like to apply for a Portugal Job Seeker Visa. The first thing that you must do is to go to VFS Global. VFS Global is a third-party company that processes visa in any kind from different countries. So they process visa like Canada, other European countries, and they process tourism visa, national visa, and other types of visa. And from here, you can see the full instructions and guidelines how you're going to proceed with your visa applications. Now let's go. First, let's go to the website. All right. Example, you are applying from Saudi Arabia and you are going to Portugal. Here it is. All right, then take me to the website. And it will direct you to the page wherein you can see the apply for a visa, book an appointment, find a center, and there is also a premium services. Now click first is start now for the apply for a visa. And here you can check the step-by-step guide. You need to identify first what type of visa you want to apply. If you're ready and you want to begin your application, click the step 2. And if you're ready to book an appointment, then click step 3. If you wanted to pay, then 4. It is very detailed. Now let's see here. First, we need to identify the visa type. It will be direct us again to another page wherein you will see here the different kinds of visa that VFS Global can process. So let's see. Okay, so job seeker visa is here and it says here that it's up to 120 days. So as I've mentioned to you, the processing per country, per embassy, it's different. So there are some countries that if they file the visa through VFS Global, it take only up to 90 days. But in the embassy directly, it take around 30 to 60 days. So if you click the job seeker visa, it will gives you the overview, how much you need to pay, the documents required, which is you need to click here, the photo specifications, processing time, and the forms. So basically, if we click the document required, it will open for us a page wherein you can see the checklist of those requirements, of the requirements that you need to complete. So as I have mentioned to you, and this is actually similar from the requirements here listed in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. So the list does not contain education requirement or proof of accommodation, something like that. But as I've mentioned in my previous video, the education certificate, experience certificate will actually support your application for job seeker visa, because the embassy, when they assess your document, they could see that, oh yes, this person has an education, has an experience, and he can potentially find a job in Portugal, as well as the accommodation. Because when we will be looking in the forms, let's open the form. Okay, I don't know why it's not working. All right, but it will be similar form as the one that we are using, the national visa application form. So you have to fill in the address part. So there is a question wherein you need to answer where are you going to stay in Portugal or address in Portugal. So it couldn't be a vague answer. You couldn't just say Lisbon or Porto. You need to put a complete answer for that. All right, so these are the checklists. And if you are applying for a job seeker visa, for example, in this one, we selected Saudi Arabia, and you are not a Saudi citizen, then you have also to attach your resident card of that specific country, and you need also to provide a criminal record or police certificate of that specific country. So it means you need to provide 2 criminal record certificate, and you have to provide your passport plus the resident ID that you have in this country. So that's the first thing that you must know. So once you complete all the required documents listed in the checklist, then of course it's up to you now to decide if you are ready, and then you can begin your application here, and you just need to follow the steps. And then of course you can book an appointment, pay your fees, and then on your appointment date you will need to visit the visa application center. There's a lot of questions that I got that they do not have an appointment, it's fully booked. We cannot do anything about that. That is their policy. If you want, you can try, at least try, to send an email. It's either to VFS or in directly to the embassy, wherein they are going to submit your documents, and maybe they can consider your applications. Maybe they could consider if you have a confirmed ticket booking, and then I mean it's like within 120 days, so they could probably expedite your application, but still it's not guaranteed. Just try to communicate with them, and we know who knows, maybe they could actually accommodate your request. So now, for example, what if you are applying for a visa wherein there's no VFS in your place, or there's no embassy? For example, I have one inquiry. He is from Ghana, so there's no VFS in Ghana. So what you're going to do if you encountered like something like this, that there's no VFS in your area, or there is a VFS in your area but they are not processing a visa to Portugal, the next thing that you must do if you encounter something like this or similar like this is to go to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and then go here in the national visa, and where should you lodge a visa application. So it means where you should submit your visa application, and then it will give you a list of embassy wherein you can find the contact information, where so you could communicate with them. So for example, let's say Ghana. All right, so here, according to the list, if you are from Ghana, then you must submit your application in Embassy of Portugal in Abuja. I think this is in Nigeria, if I'm not mistaken. And if you click this one, it should provide an email address here. This is the email address. And you could start communicating with the embassy, but I would suggest before you email the embassy, list down all your questions. So it's not like, you know, one questions and then they will reply, then again another questions and they will reply. So see to it that put your questions all together and then send it one time. If you have a follow-up questions about their answers, then it's okay. So this is also where the part where I saw that if we are from the Philippines, we must submit our applications in Embassy of Portugal in Jakarta, and I also obtained here the contact information of Embassy of Portugal in Jakarta in this part. So I hope this video helps. If you do have any questions, I created a Facebook group, and we can post, you can post your questions and anyone can answer, those people who has experience processing this kind of visa. All right, thank you. Have a good day.